Cuba, it's me, episode 71 of The Willu Show, which stands for Wrestling is Life. Life is Wrestling. Now, today I want to talk about all the haters in wrestling. It seems like no one really wants to support each other unless they know that they're going to be on a show with them coming up, or they're going to wrestle against them, or something like that, or they can get something from them. But deep down, it seems to be smile in their face, stab them in the back, or at least talk crap about them behind their back. Now, here's a question for you. Let's say I'll use myself as an example, although, it probably won't happen, but let's say for some reason I got signed to WWE. How many people would then be liking all my posts and sharing all the great memories they had with me and the times we worked and saying nice things about me and how much I deserve it, whether they think I do or not? I bet there'd be a lot more than what currently is, and it's funny how it works that way. And it's like, why can't we do that for people now before? Or what if somebody happens to somebody, and like they got injured or like something even worse than that? Why don't we be nice to each other now and celebrate? Because when we're older and we're not wrestling anymore, we're gonna look back on these times. Let's just try and make good memories. Why do we want to have memories where it's like, oh, I didn't like this guy or didn't like that? Like, to me, my new thing is I want to wrestle the guys who other people don't want to wrestle. I want to pull a great match off with the people that maybe haven't had a lot of great matches. Like, to me, that's more of a challenge. And I just want to be the guy on the card that's not going to complain. I don't have to wrestle the best guy because the best guys are already going to have good matches. So why not stick me against somebody that's not normally known for a good match, but maybe I can pull it out of them. And then I feel even happier about it if I could do it. So, like, if you have a show and you want to book me, I'll wrestle your students. I don't care if it's their first match or the second match or that they need a lot of learning and they screw up and it's sloppy. I don't care because I've been there before myself and I will help them. And to me, it used to be about I wanted to do all these moves and I wanted the boys to respect me so bad. That's all I wanted, was to be one of the boys and have it so everybody, like had the respect for me and talked so highly of me. I've given up on that. I've been in wrestling 17 years and I just know now I'm happy with my true friends in wrestling, and I have done quite a few really good matches. I've had a lot of stinkers too. So now I don't care because I'm wrestling for fun. I'm not like back in the day. I thought maybe some scout will see my match, or someone will send the tape into somebody, and I'll get discovered. Well, I've kind of not given up on that. I mean, there's always hope. I would love that. I'm not saying that, and that'd be a dream come true. But I'm not counting on it anymore. So I don't care if my match. To me, it doesn't matter how I like the match. It matters what the fans say about the match. And that's what people forget sometimes. A lot of times it seems like the boys are working to impress the boys. And like, oh, did you see so-and-so's match? Because the wrestlers are the best critics and everything. But are the wrestlers the ones that are going to support you on social media and buy your shirts and get autographs from you and pay for you? And that, no, they're not. The fans are. So now I'm more about pleasing the fans. But I mean, what's with all the jealousy too? Like, as soon as somebody's doing good, no one wants to support them. Like, the guys that are coming up, I may not be the super biggest fans of their work. Some of them I am, some of them I'm not. I like different styles of wrestling. And, I like the old school. I like the big guys where you see them and you're like, whoa, he's a wrestler. Like, if I ever had my promotion, I would try and have a lot of big, believable characters. I know that's horrible nowadays because all these small guys can do so many incredible things. I respect what they can do, but there's also so many of them that can do all these stunts and dance routine stuff like that. And good for them. There's a lot of fans out there that want to see that kind of stuff. I don't really, but I still respect it and I will watch it and I enjoy it. It's just if I had my choice, that's not how it would be, because I wish kayfabe was still alive, and I wish, even though the matches were sloppy or stuff, it was like more believable that when a big huge guy hit you, you knew it might hurt. Whereas some of these guys are like so tiny that it's like, come on, like they couldn't even win a fight against a teenager. But the business has changed, and I just have to change with it. But the thing that makes me mad is the haters and the jealousy. Like, I always thought we were a brotherhood. You may not like someone, you may like them, whatever. We are putting each other's lives in each other's hands. If someone is in the match and does a move to you, if they do it wrong, they could break your neck, paralyze you, end your career, or even something way worse that I don't want to speak upon. So, do we not have that bond? I don't think we do. I wish we did. Like, even at the shows, like, I guess when I'm not in my Cuba gear, I guess I don't look like a wrestler. I just look like some bum that's maybe going to be a cameraman. Well, not everybody comes up and shakes my hand. Is that a lost art now? Maybe it is. Like, maybe it was a stupid thing to begin with, but that's how I was taught, that you had to shake everybody's hand and introduce yourself and just set a good first impression. Nowadays, like, a lot of these guys come to the show and no one cares to meet me or say hello to me. And then after I wrestle, they're like, oh, he's a wrestler, maybe I should say hello. And still, a lot of them don't. And then there's a lot of, like, jealousy, like, with the show that I'm doing. Like, if I say something nice about someone, they might like it. But if I don't, no one's gonna like it, and I understand. No one has a lot of time. No one wants to be a Lenny like a lot. But, like, it's just, wow, like, wouldn't you just support, like, if somebody else was doing something, even if I didn't watch, I would still support them, because at least they're going out of their comfort zone, and at least they're trying something, instead of just sitting around doing nothing. Like, my ankle was broken. I had nothing to do. And I'm like, instead of just sitting around, moping around, I'm going to do a show talking about wrestling. Maybe it'll catch on. And if it doesn't, I'm going to enjoy doing it. But it seems like, unless you're doing something for someone, or they can get something out of you, no one really cares. And I'm not just talking about this show. Like, this is just a small percentage of what I'm actually talking about. It just seems like the cool thing to do is talk bad about other wrestlers. And, like, okay, there is a lot of bad wrestlers out there. And is it ruining the business? Yes. I kind of feel like the whole CM Punk thing ruined the business, because he was like a small indie guy, and he came in, and the thing is, he was a phenomenal talker. Like, him and Daniel Bryan both had like gimmicks, and that's why they get over. Now they're signing every single indie guy out there, whether they can be a character or not, and some of them have a hard time adapting to the WWE style, but they're still forcing it, and to me it doesn't really mix. Like, there's great indie workers, but are they necessarily good WWE workers? And then, so, like, that's the thing. So, good for CM Punk opening the doors for all these guys to come in, and I want people to get jobs. I'm not a hater. I'm just hating on the haters. I guess I am a hater, okay. But I just wish people could support each other more, like, because if you support someone now when they're just a little guy, and then they do make something of themselves, don't you think they're going to remember it? Like, honestly, if I did get signed to WWE right now, all these people would probably come asking me for tickets, asking me to put them over, asking for something free, like, you know what I mean? Or, like, just a mention, like, it would be awesome. Like, imagine if I have a couple people I know that I came up with that were in the WWE. Imagine if one of them said, hey, watch Elian's Willow show. I bet you I'd get hundreds more views, like probably thousands. And you know what? I'd be that guy. And maybe they're not allowed. Maybe there's a certain thing. Who knows? But, like, I would definitely be that guy and support and still put over the people that helped me get there. But I bet you no one will support people on their way to getting there. Then they want to jump on the bandwagon. And I do it too. I love name dropping. Like, the Singh brothers. I wrestled one in a 2 out of 3 falls match. I wrestled Ty Dillinger. I wrestled the Highlanders. Like, I love to name drop. Like, and those guys, like Hacksaw Jim Duggan and Canyon. And who doesn't? But at the same time, I want to name drop all the guys now that I wrestle with. Whether you're good or bad, a veteran just starting out. Every time I've wrestled, I'm really hard on myself. So I may not have been super pleased with the match, but that's myself. Everybody that I've wrestled against, no matter how the match turned out, we've all given our 100% and tried our best, and I have love for you. So let's just stop the hating. I'm going to try and do it. I don't like to be a Lenny like a lot, but I should. And people are going to get annoyed. Oh, Elian, he's a suck-up. He's liking everybody's posts. But you know what? I'd rather that than just be the guy in the background and be like, I do like your post, but I'm not going to click like. That kind of stuff. So that's my rambling and my thoughts for today. Down with haters. Remember, like or you get a leg drop. Comment or you get a clothesline. Subscribe or you get a suplex. I'm your host, Elian Habanero. I love wrestling. Cuba!